Hello everybody, it's This Week at MBE. It's Sunday night, getting ready to go home for dinner. But I just want to go over some of the things like we typically do. What Biggs was showing just now was this is the Big 9 intake manifold. This is Dave Hughes at HRE. This is the gentleman that probably did 80 to 90% of the pro stock manifolds for NHRA for the last 35, 40 years. And a bunch of other things too. All the comp eliminator stuff, things like that. So for jobs like this, he made this manifold here for the Big 9. So this is going to be a big nitrous, EFI, billet runners, and the intake, billet runners here. So this is a really nice piece, but it just goes to show you how diverse we have to be for the different applications. Because in other applications we use, this goes on there with the Big 9 manifold, right? So, and then of course we got some steel rockers here for the Big 9. So these are real race parts right here. I mean, look at that rocker system. Single bar, makes everything strong. Part of the reason what makes it strong is because it's a single bar. Now this one and this one support this. So it makes everything extremely rigid. And anytime we can make things rigid, we get rid of deflection. If we get rid of deflection, that means rocker life's going to go up. It means the valve train's going to be more stable. It means spring life's going to go up and everything. So there's just value to doing everything correct. And that's what we try to do on the valve train side is put the 23 fasters in the rocker bar, get rid of the huge offsets that a typical Big Chief has. And you can see these are the same offset in all 4 intakes, which would be this one, this one, and this one, and this one. In a typical Big Chief application, 2 of the rocker arms will have probably 3 times that. Brad at T&D was willing to work with this on this, and what he came up with, this is amazing. And it's been amazing now for, I guess we're probably at least 4 years with this. And then we got, so this is a prototype thing we're doing. So we're developing a product for Brodex, and we'll talk about this later on. As we get closer, we'll talk more and more about it. But so we got a raw head and everything, and we put some guide boards in it. We got some ports in it. Now we're looking at lifter locations and things like that, so we can help them build a better piece. And in the end, then we'll add our touches to it as we do it. So. But, we've got a set of, this is 18-degree Big Chiefs right here. So these are here for an update. So basically we put all the MBE touches on it. So these haven't been final valve jobbed yet, so don't look at that. That's just a roughed-in piece, so we can get to this point. But instead of having something that flows 460 CFM and is very inefficient on the intake and exhaust side, you got something that'll flow probably 520 on a 1020 bench, so 530, 535. And we do a lot of this. This is fun. This is fine. This is for a customer, DNE out west. And we do a lot of work for him. Okay, and then let's go with it. Well, you want to go that way, Biggs?
Yep.
I'll meet you over there. We got some A460s that we talked about last week, but since last week, the customer asked us to put hat washers in. The hat washer is a hardened steel washer, and we make all those, so it's extremely hard, heat treated, where it'll never gall. It's actually harder than the nut, and so these press in, so you don't have to run a washer underneath your nut. You just go right down, nut to the cylinder head. Makes it easier to have the head come off, things like that, and I think they'll always look real nice too. This customer, so we programmed all that, we got him in there. This customer asked for the exhaust flange O-ringed, so they programmed that, got that machined last week also. So now we offer that for everybody. Now it just goes in the library. If anybody wants that done to an A460, it's not a problem. Everything's been programmed and it's finished. Let's go to the back room, Mr. Biggs. So we got an LS head right here. So this is we talked about this last week. This is for Bobby Millard, which his dad and I He was a good friend in high school, and his dad is definitely, he's a car guy, and he actually has my old street car, and I believe he has the 4.56 gear ratio in it out of the 9-inch Ford I had in a Camaro. Now he has it in his own Camaro, and he got that stuff from me about 30 years ago when I decided to go fuel racing and do things like that. So, but these are for his son, so you know, we certainly put a lot of effort into these. He's going to be real happy. His son's going to prove to his dad that a power adder is fun, and it is going to be fast, and hopefully it'll stay in one piece. That's what I hope for. This his son's going turbocharged. You know, just like everything evolves, and the younger generation wants power adders, and they're not okay with 400 horsepower. They want 800 or more. So that's what we got here. So that's that there. We got a set of 18s right here. So these are in here for final assembly. We got the intake valves, all tie on both sides. 5/16. You can tell these are chromium nitride coated. You can see the line right there. The reason why we chromium nitrate the valve is because we use the better seat material like we do. Instead of putting an $18 seat in, we put a $60 seat in. Then your valves are going to last 4 to 5 times longer at least, and the valve job is going to stay in it that much longer also. There's a little value. There's a lot of value to this, and that's why we don't offer that. I don't even offer that cheap material, because all you're doing is buying a color. It's really a bunch of BS, and people are doing that. It's like stealing. It's BS. There's a titanium exhaust valve with the proper back angles, things like that, proper profile angle, the radius here. You know, we test all of that when we're doing the valve development, and then to make sure we have enough cross-sectional area in it too. You see, most of our stuff, if it is tied, does not have a dish in it. Only the intake does. That's because we have beliefs that under combustion, that the dish on the exhaust does not work, that it causes problems. It's just a belief. I don't have proof, but I feel like we have an idea at least. You can see, so this is getting a set of PSI springs. These are MLs. So in this application, it's probably a truck pull application. So we'll put triples on this. It won't have duals. And there's reasons why we put triples on the truck pull compared to a dual. But look where the spring technology goes. This was before what we did. And just look at the finish on there, okay? So that's a PSI spring from about 2006, okay? Now they go through more peening processes, and the reason why that is important is because it gets rid of any inclusions in the wire, and if there's an inclusion in the wire, which would be like a nitrogen pocket, and then all of a sudden it has a little chip in it, well then it breaks there. When it goes through the extra peening processes, which cost extra money, the spring does not break. It lasts much, much longer. And that's part of the reason why we don't skimp on the spring, because if there's going to be an engine failure, I would say 90% of the time they're valve train related. They are not anymore. Anybody, I shouldn't say anybody, most people can set bearing clearances and stuff like that and they don't kick rods out. But when you come here, we don't offer this anymore. We offer this, because in the end, this is going to save the customer money. So we do that, and it's not much more money. You're looking at probably $60 to $80 a set. 16, it's like nothing. And then just some other stuff here. There's the mate to that 18. There's the manifold. This one's been all ported. I don't know if you can see that, but I don't know if you'll be able to see that bigs or not. But so this is an M&M casting that we use for the high RPM stuff for our conventional head, or we use it for the larger cubic inch, depending on what you have. This happens to be going on a 632 with nitrous, and then they'll send it out and have their nitrous put on it. Whoever it might be, maybe Induction Solutions, who knows. And then just manifold stuff going out, waiting on some parts, that's all. And that is it. That's it for this week at MBE. Thank you for joining us.